My 50s Craftsman table saw had a worn out insert and needed a new one created. So I grabbed some laminate from the local big box store and put that together with a scrap of MDF to create a new zero clearance insert. Follow along as I show you the steps that I took to put this together. I let the glue cure for a while and then trimmed the blank to size. Next, I took some opening measurements and made note of them on the original insert with a magic marker. Here I used some double-sided tape to adhere the original insert to the new blank. And promptly erased all my measurements. Luckily, I made note off camera. Off camera at the bandsaw, I trimmed up the excess MDF and laminate, staying a little bit away from the line of the original insert. Then over at the router table, used a flush trim laminate bit to trim the laminate and MDF flush. Next, with a straight cutting bit in my router table, I roughed in the grooves in the bottom of the insert based on the measurements I had taken earlier. It's important to note that I carefully snuck up on the depth that I needed that bit to protrude from the table so that the insert would fit flush with the table saw table. With some fence adjustments, then I cut the grooves down each side. Once you have the depth of the groove dialed in with the flush bit, you want to make sure that you don't change the depth through the rest of these processes. Once you have relief cuts that reflect the measurements around the insert, all you have to do is go back and remove all the excess material. Next, with a smaller blade in the saw, I was able to tweak the edge of the laminate and MDF so that it fit perfectly flush. So here, let's take a marker and mark the alignment of the blade so that we know where it will pop through. Reinstall the insert into the table and scoot the fence over on top to hold it down. I used a plank to make sure that the insert was good and flush, moved the fence over to that line just inside the line so that the blade wouldn't interfere with it, and slowly raised the blade up to create a kerf in the new insert. Right about here, I came to the realization that I forgot to put a hole in the insert so that I could get it out. Next, I installed the full-size blade and raised it to full height to create the full-length kerf. Here you can see that I did go ahead and put a hole in the insert so that I could pull it out easily, and you can see what it looks like on the bottom, the final product. Off camera, using the original insert as a guide, I drilled 2 small holes for the original insert screws and secured it to the table.